Bunch has spent the summer in the gym. How happy are you with the work they've put in to try and make progress?
Yeah, so it's been a good summer of work. It's been an important summer of work for our guys, and I would say that everybody on the roster showed a real consistency and a dedication to want to improve, and that carried on throughout the summer. And hopefully the habits and the gains that we made over the summer will carry into the preseason and the season for us.
All right, what about this?
Jock talks about he likes the versatility of the team, he likes the depth that there's competition at each position. That's got to be your goal when you're putting a roster together, right?
Sure, yeah. I think this season especially, I think we'll see more competition for minutes and playing time than we've seen in our prior two seasons. So that's exciting for us. I think that speaks to, again, how we're building the team and the way we want to build it, and that versatility piece is important for competition internally, but then also once we start playing games to show different lineups and those types of things.
You stole my question, but specifically for you, is this the best roster that you've constructed since you've been here?
Well, I hope so, yeah. Again, it's part of a fluid process, but we feel good about the team, and we like the direction we're heading in, and we certainly have the guys on the team for a reason, because we feel like all of them do a little bit something different, and when you combine all that, we think it has the makings to be a pretty good team.
Rob, for those of us who weren't familiar with Evan from his 2 years in Denver, was there anything in particular that stood out then? Has there been anything you've learned about him since the trade?
Yeah, so Evan is someone that we've been watching for a while, dating back to his time in France, and a lot of things about him that we like. I think the biggest thing is just the efficiency and the consistency that he plays with. Doesn't really try to do things that are out of his skill set. He plays within himself, and I think he does a good job of letting the game come to him and just reading and reacting to what's presented to him. So a lot of how he looks at the game and processes the game, I would say, are what intrigue us the most.
Rob, when you look back on how the Summer League went, what were your takeaways on Alfred and Aaron?
Yeah, so the Summer League is a great learning tool for a lot of young players, and I think that Alfred and Aaron in particular had a chance to learn firsthand about just the nuances of the NBA game, the speed of the NBA game, and I think if you ask both of them, they'd be able to tell you some things that they took away toward that end. I think that there's no replication or true simulation for NBA training camp or the preseason or the season until you're actually there, so I think they'll pick up a few more things in the coming weeks. But overall, I would say that their competitiveness, their commitment to wanting to play both ends of the floor at a high level is something we saw in Summer League and something that we hope will carry over into the regular season.
Rob, we've talked about what constitutes success and how you define it. How would you like to be judged this season?
Yeah, good question, Larry. So, I think it's important for us this year to show growth, to show progress, and we'll be able to measure growth in a lot of ways. Obviously, wins is one way. There'll be some other ways that we look at players individually. How are they improving in certain metrics? We'll look at the team. How are we improving in certain metrics? How are our efficiencies improving on both ends of the floor? Things like that. So the hope is to be able to take a look back when the season begins and throughout the season, and then at the end of the season look back and say, okay, we feel good about, or do we feel good about the progress we made? Do we feel good about where we're at in relation to our plan? And the hope is by season's end we can all look at the team and say, yeah, we are making good strides.
Rob, you spend all summer putting this on paper. Is this an anticipated time for you?
This is an exciting time. This is a time where you have your first chance to see the team and see how the pieces fit and see the competitive element of training camp. So the staff is excited. I think the guys are excited. So we're ready to get started.
Jock was just joking. The first 2 or 3, 4 drills to go will be defensive drills. It feels like this team needs to establish that identity as a defensive team that can change games with the defense. Is that something you like to hear?
Yeah, absolutely. We're committed to being a defensive-minded team, and we feel like over the long haul that's a sustainable element for our team and a critical one. So I think we'll start to see as we start to establish this identity on the floor that we want to be about. It'll start with defense, and we'll expect our guys to be committed to that end of the floor at all times.
This is the first year that you guys have Erie as a resource for helping young players out that might not be getting playing time. Have you formulated how you guys are planning to use that resource yet, or how exactly?
A little bit. I think the fact that we have Erie as a platform to develop our our players, our staff, or what have you is an exciting thing for us. We don't know quite yet how it will be used in terms of assignments and allocating guys. I think we'll play that by ear as we get into the season. But certainly to have that resource at our disposal is an exciting thing for us moving forward.
You've got a lot of players. You've got obviously Nick and Tobias have the contract extension deadline, but you also have Maurice and Andrew and a couple other players that are facing kind of big third years with uncertain futures as far as their extensions next summer. How important is it to see the growth and development from those guys throughout the year as you begin weighing the long-term future of this team?
It's very important. As I said all along, it's an important season for our team to show growth. It's an important season for our players individually to show growth. And we believe in our guys. We believe that they're in a place and an environment where they can succeed, and we hope that they're going to have successful seasons. We expect them to have those.
Rob, with the fans, you've used the word patience in the past. Where are you on that now?
Yeah, I think patience is it's an important word. I think as we continue to build the team, it's important for us to, again, keep the vision, the long-term vision in place as we go through. We have to show improvement. We expect to show improvement this season. Our fans have been incredibly supportive to that end. We also understand that they want to see progress, and we understand that. So I think patience and staying the course, staying disciplined is still very much how we have to look at things. At the same time, though, we do understand and expect to see growth.
Rob, we've seen in the past the NBA teams make the playoffs with losing records. If you guys were to sneak in with that 8 seed, would that be considered a success, or is it more about having more wins than losses?
I don't really understand the question.
If you guys were able to get that 8 seed and have a losing record, would that still be considered a successful season, even if you guys have more
Sure,
losses?
I think anytime you make the playoffs, it's a successful season.
You've had some time. You've had some time now to get to know Ben Gordon a little bit better as he's worked out here. What have you seen from him that maybe those from the outside, just looking at his stats over the last couple of years?
Just his work ethic. Ben's a gym rat. He's in here every night, basically till midnight, getting shots up. And so I think his desire to be in the gym and to continuing to try to hone his craft is something that we want to be about. It's something we want our players to see and our players to be about. So I think the one thing that really sticks out about Ben this summer has been just how much time he's put in, spent working on his game.
Is everybody available to practice tomorrow?
Yes, everybody is healthy and ready to go.
Everyone good?